tack on to lay there.
So we're coming up on the 3-minute mark for the start of race number 2, day number 1 of the America's Cup here in San Francisco, and the breeze is up. Flag number 4 went away. That means we are less than 3 minutes to go to the start.
As you can see, they've swapped sides this time on board here. Emirates Team New Zealand sitting out on the right-hand side, so they're going to be entering at 2 minutes, whereas Oracle get the 10-second advantage. And it'll be really interesting to see if they have the same strategies or if Jimmy's going to be just as aggressive when he's on the port tack.
We've said time and time again that the boat that enters on port from the left has an advantage, Nathan, in the pre-start. How much do you think that'll help Oracle Team USA in the second race?
I think that'll be a big help to them. And, you know, Chris Draper made a good comment in the halftime show about how good Dean Barker and the boys did about entering spot on the 2 minutes 10. To me, it's shaping up that Oracle is slightly late here, but we'll see how they go.
So 2 minutes 10, the time they're supposed to enter the line. 2 minutes 4 seconds is when they do. Oracle Team USA into the start box first. At 2 minutes, it's Emirates Team New Zealand next on starboard. Here we go, the pre-start of race 2.
And Jimmy was pretty late there, and what that's allowed to do is allowed Dean to do a really good foiling jibe right behind him. So Dean's been able to put a little bit more pressure on Jimmy here. If Jimmy goes into attack now, then Dean will be able to slot in underneath him quite nicely.
So the next maneuver is Oracle Team USA's. What would you do, tack or jibe?
Well, I think they're going to tack because it's flooding out there so much. A jibe puts you below the pin and ley line. And Dean's going to roll into attack to leeward of him here. And now it's a question of, do you roll and do you want to lead, or are you happy to sit up above?
Well, we saw Emirates Team New Zealand starting above in the first race. This is sort of a repeat of what we saw in the first start, but the opposite. Now it's Oracle Team USA reaching over the top of Emirates Team New Zealand. 1 minute to go to the start, and Oracle now has set up for the leeward position.
Yeah, well, Oracle went for the roll there, and looks like they might have gone slightly too aggressive because they've now let Team New Zealand a little bit ahead of them. And these boats are hard enough to sail at the best of times, but when you're engaging in pre-start activities like this, you can see the whole time how low Oracle's bows are over the water.
Now New Zealand reaches over the bow of Oracle Team USA, but that doesn't work. They'll slow down. They'll set up to windward, and it looks like.
And watch for Jimmy here going for the hook. You hear him, he's going for the hook, and he's going to try and stop him in this start.
Oh, we could see contact there. New Zealand could be in trouble. Protest from Oracle Team USA. We'll see how the umpires make the call, but it's 5 seconds now to go to the start. Both boats are slow. Oracle Team USA in the wing wash of New Zealand. The gun is off, but the boats are not. No penalty, it's all clear. Emirates Team New Zealand accelerates first.
And again, another great start by Dean. He pushed hard there to defend his position as the lead boat. Jimmy went for the penalty and didn't get it. And now it's all about boat speed across the first reach.
On board Oracle Team USA. Can they hang in there to leeward of Emirates Team New Zealand heading into mark number 1?
It looks exactly the same as race 1. Dean just got a slightly better start. Better angle being the windward boat, and now he can just bear away on his own time.
An amazing start from Emirates Team New Zealand gives them the lead at mark number 1. This time the delta only 2 seconds over Oracle Team USA.
And it's all going to come down to this first jibe here. Both boats going basically the same speed. And you can hear them setting up on Emirates Team New Zealand. Jimmy might go further again this time. Let's just wait and see.
So the Kiwis set up for the jibe. Oracle Team USA, will they pounce on top of them or will they continue? Oracle Team USA will jibe first. New Zealand continues, and now the Kiwis will set up.
Good racing there, and it comes down to both boats. Again, foil jibing, and it's all about how quickly you can get your boat up to that top speed again and moving out to a nice little lead here for Emirates Team New Zealand. They're bow forward, so they've got fresh air and they're to leeward, and there's no pressure on them now for the next jibe from this position.
So New Zealand out in front for now. Let's go back into the pre-start and see how it happened.
So here it looks like Jimmy's going to go for the hook. and he goes quite aggressively for the hook, and he tries to get some contact here to get a penalty. So he looked like he was going high risk there, trying to get the penalty. And what happened in the end is instead of having the penalty go his way, he then lost control of the pre-start. Check out how close they are.
Unbelievable. Tough to tell whether there was contact there, but certainly New Zealand got the lead and there was no penalty in that pre-start, but now it's pretty close. Heading downwind, Oracle Team USA on the offensive, New Zealand on the defense. On board with Emirates Team New Zealand.
Okay, they're setting up to jibe here near the boundary now. Both boats are jibe at the exact same time here. Oracle just went slightly early, and again, Emirates Team New Zealand jibing to lure it in front, and that's a really strong position tactically there from Ray Davies. The best way for Oracle to make gains here and make a passing manoeuvre is to get on the opposite tack, and Emirates Team New Zealand have done a good job of just staying close to them the whole way down the run. And for us as a viewer, it's great because we get to see now which is the faster of the two boats, and they're also probably having a nice little check in themselves.
Well, remember race number 1, Nathan, you thought the Oracle Team USA looked like they had a lower angle, a better course into the next mark downwind. What do you think now?
Let's go on board. It looks like they are pointing a little bit lower at the moment. Let's just go on board with Oracle and hear what they're talking about.
Past intersection. Happy to set up and go.
So what JK was saying there is we're passing a section. We can jibe now and make the bottom mark on the ley line. If they jibe any earlier than where they are here, they're going to hit a boundary and be forced to do an extra jibe. And you'll see both boats jibing at the exact same time. So they have the same information on board. And Emirates is just blocking every manoeuvre that Oracle is trying to make.
Looks like Oracle Team USA a little bit faster.
Going a little bit faster, but both boat speeds jump up and down. Like they'll sit at 39, 40 knots as their top speed and then a bottom speed of 36. So it's keeping it in the groove. That's the job of Glenn Ashby and Dean Barker and Emirates Team New Zealand, to keep the boat going as fast as possible. And then they're just basically doing as they're told. Ray's telling them what the plan is. And I heard him say there before, right-hand mark at the bottom. So expect to see a right-hand turn down at the bottom here.
15, go jibe. 10, 9, 10. Yep.
So a right-hand turn looking downwind means they're going to want to head left, looking upwind towards the Golden Gate Bridge, right?
Exactly, and as we saw from that current graphic earlier, it looks like there's a little bit of an ebb or a current going against the wind, so that's the favoured way to go up the beat now.
Going up, boys.
So New Zealand is in command of which way to go around the leeward gates. It'll be a right-hand turn around the left-hand mark, heading inshore in the lead over Oracle Team USA. These boats in race number 1 were a bit closer at this bottom mark, just coming off the foils there. Oracle Team USA around 7 seconds behind.
A little bit of a wobbly bottom mark rounding there. It's really difficult to do those bottom mark roundings because you got to adjust the foil rate quite a lot as you go around, and it looked like they just had a little bit too much lift on the foil and did a little wheelie just before they came around, and then the windward hull comes crashing down. So
I'd like to try and continue hold here for a little bit, okay?
Talking about, Nathan.
yes, exactly. It's just a little bit too much lift there on the foil, as we see on the replay here, and you can watch on board one more time. Watch the windward hull crash down, and that's never a good feeling as you're rounding the mark. You want to keep these boats nice and smooth. The smoother you can be on board these boats, the better they're going to travel.
So the delta was 7 seconds. That slowed them down for sure, and I'll bet the delta's a little bit more to Emirates Team New Zealand now.
We all are immersion, right?
John Kostecki calling the shots for Jimmy Spithill. What are their options?
Well, their options here is they're trying to sail a high mode. They've come around the bottom mark. Both boats are on starboard tack. And their whole goal here is to try and keep the boat as high as they can to block Emirates Team New Zealand from tacking. You can see the current here is pushing the boats back upwind. They've just come into the ebb now, which is going up against the wind. And you can see here both boats sailing slow. 20 knots is a slow mode for these boats upwind.
If you can call that slow,
If you can call that slow. Whereas a low mode might be 25 or 26. So both boats sailing as high as they can, and I expect they're going to get to the boundary, and the Emirates Team New Zealand will use the boundary as the right of way to come out on port and make the cross.
See that boundary to the upper left-hand side of your screen. That's new in this America's Cup. Here are the VMGs. Velocity made good, the balance of speed and angle.
Yeah, and what you can see here is the angle there. 38, 39 by both boats. They're really squeezing it into the wind as much as they can here. And their VMG boat speeds are fairly similar. I think Emirates Team New Zealand's probably slightly quicker here. But in the last bit, we were seeing them in the 16s and 17 knots on VMG. So they're definitely sailing a higher mode, which is not ideal for their speed.
What do you want to do? Going to go before him, or you want to go the other side?
You can hear them trying to decide, are they going before or after here.
Better make that decision quick. Here comes Emirates Team New Zealand tacking to port and crossing from the left.
That mode was good before, Dino. Would have been a simo with it.
So you can hear that Ray Davies saying to Dean Barker he was really happy with the mode we were sailing, and now we just want to simo them. That basically means we just want to do exactly what the other boat's doing. We're in front. They know that Oracle has to do a big job here to pass them, and if they can just keep doing exactly what they're doing, then they're going to stay in front. You can see the tide line there. That's the ebb, the dirty water pushing out of the bay, and they're about to start to sail out of the ebb and expect them to go back left as we look further up the beat.
Staying on the inside.
On board, Emirates Team New Zealand.
Getting us into a little bit worse current. So at some point we'd end up just going in and doing our own thing. We've got to really make sure we're in phase. Yeah, this is pretty right hand here. We're gaining all the time.
Be ready to be, as soon as he tacks in here on, we go with him.
Yeah, 100%.
Great comms on board, isn't it? You can hear them saying we're gauging here, we're making gains, and as soon as they go to tack, we're going to go straight with them. And you can see the difference between race 1 and race 2 again is the current is going with them as they go up the course, stronger on the left-hand side, but it's not a huge factor. I think it's more about sailing in the breeze, and for Emirates Team New Zealand, just staying between Oracle and the next mark.
Grant Dalton, the director of Emirates Team New Zealand, 56 years old, still one of the fittest guys on the boat. Off the water, he's in charge of this team. On the water, he's on the pumps, the handles, the grinders. Here comes attack from Oracle Team USA.
You'd expect Emirates to go straight with them based on the conversation we just heard.
Feels like we're turning too hard. Second half.
And just as you said, Nathan, it's Emirates Team New Zealand's turn to tack and protect their lead over Oracle Team USA. Both teams heading back to the left inshore to that favorable ebb current.
It's really tough to make a gain here now for Oracle. They're basically being covered the whole way around the course. Even if they are going to be going faster, it's tough. And you can see here on board, Jimmy and Kyle. This is Kyle's first big day in the America's Cup. Youngest boy on the boat, and doing a great job trimming the wing, because clearly the boat speed's pretty similar.
That's Kyle just running off screen there to the new windward side of the boat. In the next tack as they cross, Oracle Team USA still behind Emirates Team New Zealand. That does not look like a very happy Jimmy Spithill.
No, it doesn't. Last race was much closer than this, and this race they're behind about 260 metres and really not having much of a chance of getting back into this race with the way that the Kiwis are sailing. And he's just got to be thinking, all right, we'll just keep pushing here and just keep waiting for an opportunity.
So Oracle had tack. Now it's Emirates Team New Zealand's turn to check back into the middle of the course as the fans are treated to a fantastic view off of Marina Green in the America's Cup Village, halfway up this upwind leg.
And looking at the tacks just from you know, the shots we're seeing here from the helicopters, amazing pictures. It looks like Team New Zealand are tacking slightly better. What you can see is they have a self-tacking jib as opposed to Oracle where they have to keep tacking the jib, and it looks like every tack Oracle's jib's just flapping a little bit too long, and probably that setup or that decision was made a year ago, and looks like Emirates set up for better boat handling in terms of ease of sailing the boat. And they're also managing the boards really nicely in the tacks. Every time they tack, they seem to be foiling that hull right around, and I think that's where the gains are coming from at the moment.
Okay, stand by. 3, 2, 1, here we go.
One of the biggest splits we've seen in the race so far. With these new course boundaries, you can't really bang the corner. You can't go all the way out to one side or the other like you could in previous American.
No, exactly. The boundaries are brought in nice and close, and there's no banging the corners out there on this race course. They might go boundary to boundary, but you know, they all know which way they want to go. They want to go on the left-hand side, and they're just tacking up the shore. And here we see a quick glimpse of foiling upwind, and obviously a right-hand shift here, so they're putting the bow down, trying to get the boat to go fast and get back into the advantage current.
On board, Emirates Team New Zealand, the prod cam on the bow. You can just see that leeward hull on the right-hand side, jumping out of the water a little bit. That's the upwind foiling you were referring to, Nathan, right?
Exactly, just trying to get the leeward hull out of the water. Every time that leeward hull's in the water, it's extra drag. And we've been seeing them practicing this throughout the Louis Vuitton series. And there's just moments in the race when you want to be foiling upwind. And that obviously, there was a moment there where they wanted to go low and fast, get rid of the hull, get it out of the water, get rid of the drag. And the whole time you're sailing upwind, you are having lift on the foil. And you can see on the left-hand side of this picture, they're just starting to lift the bow out, and every now and then the whole hull comes out, but the last thing you want is too much lift, because then you get massive leeway.
Yeah, help over the right game lane.
20 seconds we can get to right gate lane. We'll be looking to hit him on this next one. Yeah.
Definitely going to hit him on the next one, boys.
We'll be looking to hit him on this next one. What does that mean, Nathan?
Well, that means they're just looking to leeward at Oracle. Both boats are on port tack at the moment, and when Oracle tack on the starboard tack, hitting him means we're just going to tack straight on him. We're not going to give him a chance to get past. So look for when Oracle make the next tack for Emirates Team New Zealand to tack straight on top of it. And
here it comes as if on cue. Oracle Team USA tacking on to starboard, converging with the Kiwis course. And there it is. The Kiwis also tacking as per plan. Now both boats on starboard heading to the left. The next turning marks gate number 3 off in the distance.
And here it looks like they're shaping up for another right-hand turn at the top mark. So not many options here for Jimmy to get it past. And let's just keep an eye on board of what their plan is from here.
One and in right. Feel like one and in right, boys.
So it sounds like both teams have the same plan. One and in right means one tack, and then we're going to go to the right-hand mark looking upward.
5, 3, 2, 1, tack it. You ready? Lay line again. We'll stop for a little leak.
So it's Team New Zealand in the lead with the luxury to tack first onto port and head into that right-hand gate, looking upwind. There are the marks just off in the corner. Strong position for Emirates Team New Zealand. And just like you said, Nathan, Oracle Team USA has the same plan, right gate, right-hand turn.
It's almost the only option, because if you take the left mark looking upwind, you can see how much softer the breeze is in towards the shore, and they only have about 20 seconds before the first jump, so a very difficult maneuver to pull off.
Go early.
Listening in with Emirates Team New Zealand. Race 1 of the Louis Vuitton Cup Finals. This moment right here, they dug both bows in, but all comfortable on board the all-Kiwi boat as they rip downwind and pop up on the foils. Out in the lead.
watch on board here. They'll be looking at a jibe pretty soon as they approach the boundary on the northern side of the racecourse.
Well, as the time in this race decreases, the time for Oracle Team USA increases. The delta between the two boats in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. 40 seconds and counting. Now it's Oracle Team USA's turn. Right-hand gate. As they start to foil downwind. The difference, 46 seconds. So Oracle Team USA already having jibed, heading back into the middle of the downwind leg. Or Emirates Team New Zealand, rather, out in front. Oracle Team USA running out of options, Nathan Outerbridge.
It's tough from here. They don't really have any options. As we saw at the top mark, both teams wanted to go right and right mark, and they just end up sailing to the boundary here, as we can see, and their tracks are going to be basically the same. They just have to follow because there's no passing lanes at the top of the course. Where we might see something interesting happening is halfway down the course, but once you get this far behind, it's pretty tough for them to get back into the race.
Foil to foil jibes, a thing of the norm in this America's Cup. A beautiful job for Oracle Team USA, but is it too little too late? There is the difference in the view from on board the American boat as the Kiwis rip downwind for the last time, heading for the finish. See the red on the water there, the course for Emirates Team New Zealand.
50 seconds the
it's
other
a bit,
way.
not quite straight, a little zigzag there.
Yeah, it's a little bit zigzag, and I think that's to do with the puffs that are on the race course. It's quite a puffy venue here, sailing in San Francisco, and not always is it easy to sail in a straight line, and every time you get a gust of breeze, you just end up bearing away and soaking it down a little. So that's why you see these boats always a bit wobbly around the racetrack.
Beautiful position.
Minute 20 to intersection.
On board Oracle Team USA. Kyle Langford replacing Dirk de Ritter as the wing trimmer. That was a last-minute replacement. So he's in a new position and the youngest guy on the boat. A lot of pressure.
Yeah, definitely a lot of pressure on his shoulders today, and he'll be happy to get back to the dock and have an assessment of how he went. But I think he's done an amazing job. He's done a lot of sailing on these boats as well. Everyone needs a spare sailor in their team in case someone gets an injury, and he stepped up to the challenge pretty good today.
150 this way, 50 the other. 34 intersection.
The next jibe from Emirates Team New Zealand, foil to foil, beautiful.
Yep.
Dean Barker just taking his time. I remember watching the first jibe in that first race, Nathan. He was sprinting as fast as he could, the adrenaline up, the nerves. Right now, we're seeing a pretty cool and relaxed Dean Barker.
Yeah, exactly. Once the boats are close together, you know how important and how urgent it is to do the job properly and get across the boat. And once you have a nice lead like the Kiwis do at the moment, there's no rush to do anything. It's just back to what it would be like in the training session, and these guys are doing a great job. And you see here at the back of the boat, Ray Davies shifting across the boat. He's down there, he's starting to look at the bottom marks, calling the angle, and there's a little wobble there on board, but not a major issue, and they're just going to go to ley line from here and pick the ley line and round the bottom mark.
20 seconds.
20 seconds, you can hear them on board. That's Ray Davies talking to Dean. Time to the next jibe.
And as you can see on the top of the picture there, Oracle Team USA also jibing and following, because it's the way the race course goes. There's not many chances for them to get back into it from here.
Both of these teams have software on board, you were telling me before the race, and it tells them exactly where they are on the course and when to jibe. So it's no wonder we're seeing both teams sailing in the exact same tracks on the race course.
Exactly. They have like a little iPad on their person, and Ray Davies uses that to help him pick the ley lines. But they've done over 100 days sailing on this boat now and been here for a very long time. So there's no surprise. These guys are professional sailors, and they get it right basically every time.
Well, New Zealand has certainly got it right both times today for this day number 1 of the America's Cup, a high-speed right-hand turn as they bring it home to the fans of America's Cup Park and everybody here in San Francisco. They put on quite a masterful show. If you've ever wondered what it's like to get shot in the face with a fire hose, just have a sail on board an AC-72, right, Nathan?
That's the thing. You sail these boats around at 40 knots of boat speed, and you don't realize how fast you're going until the windward hull touches the water and you get 40 knots of water in your face. So you can see them duck for cover every time that happens there.
Dean Barker at the helm. He won the last race of the successful defense in 2000, the America's Cup in New Zealand. A devastating loss of their defense in 2003, and an even more devastating loss in 2007 to Alinghi. That 1 second final finish. Dean Barker has that in his head. He's not going to rest on his laurels, but he is going to be proud of his team, and certainly the Kiwi nation will as well. Emirates Team New Zealand goes up 2-0 over Oracle Team USA. The fans celebrating on shore, but not too much celebration aboard the Kiwi boat, right, Nathan?
No, they know there's a very long way to go. They'll be feeling more relieved than happy at the moment. You know, they've been training for 3 years for this event, for this race, for this day, and you know, they're just extremely probably satisfied inside knowing they've got a long way to go still.
Well, so has Oracle Team USA. They put a lot of effort into their 2-boat program. And here we go, day number 1 of the America's Cup, and they go down with 2 losses to Emirates Team New Zealand. So how do you think they feel on board, and what can they do to turn things around tomorrow?
I think they would have learned a lot today. You know, yes, they didn't win either of their races, but I think they were, you know, they can take a lot out of it. Some of their starts were quite good. I think they need to work on their time on distance in the pre-starts and really work on getting a split if they are behind to make a chance of getting into it.